Hello everyone, CAT 2024 is just a few days away and it is the time when you must be anxious for the examination, and it is quite natural. Even if you are prepared quite well, you must be feeling nervous that around 3 lakh aspirants will be appearing for the examination. How will I do in the examination? Not only just the freshers, the ones who are repeating the examination will be getting the trauma of last year. If you did not have a good exam last year, you might be anxious that how will it go this time, or someone for whom this is the last, probably the last CAT attempt, will be anxious about the examination. So it is the time when you need to relax the most. If you have prepared well for the examination, nothing is going to change in the last 3-4 days. It is not that something magical will happen in the last 3-4 days. You will learn something magical and that will scale your score from 50s to 100 plus. It is not the case. So whatever you have prepared till now will be in effect, and it depends how you prepared for the examination, what resources you used, how sincerely you put your efforts. See, it is one thing is of course the resources that you use and the things. Another thing is sincerity. Maybe you can fool someone else, your parents and all, but you yourself know how honest you have been, how consistent you were. Some people started the preparation long back, let's say around the last year this time itself, or some may have started in January, February, or even March, April, and have been consistent. Some people might have started their preparation around June, July, right, and have been toiling for the last 3-4 months. And some who started preparation early were not consistent. बीच में कोई vacation में चला गया or something else happened, and you were not consistent. So you yourself know that what you have prepared for the examination. So your expectations should be accordingly. It is unfair to say that if I have not studied, put enough hours, not covered the entire syllabus, and you expect that you will get 99.9 percentile. That is of course injustice. But on the other hand, if you have prepared well with sincere efforts and the right methods and all, and done the necessary things like going through past year papers and attempting a few mock tests, then you should not be fearing on the examination day. Now these tips are not only for first lot aspirants but for all, but most of them are particular to the first lot aspirants because they have the highest amount of anxiety. They do not know what is going to happen on the day of the examination. So they will be the first one who will be tasting CAT 2024, and then only the second and third slot aspirants will get to know, okay, this is something which is new, this time what is the difficulty level of the examination, etc. So first and foremost thing, that stop taking mock tests now. So whatever number of mock tests you have taken, it does not matter. To be honest, some people say take 30 mocks, some people say that I took 50 mocks and got 99.9 percentile. Some other person might say that I took 10 mocks but still got 99.9 percentile. Some person takes 50 mocks, get 80 percentile also. So it does not matter how many mocks you take, right? I did not take a single mock when I was an aspirant and still managed to score 99.93. So it does not matter the number of mocks you take. Okay, what matters is you know which questions to attempt in the examination, you know which questions to skip. Same like in quant, if you do not have any ego, if you feel that a question is difficult, you skip and move on to the next easy question and attempt it. If you are well prepared, you have covered all topics, you know which questions to attempt, you will be able to do well on the day of the examination. Similarly in DILR, if you feel that you are stuck in some question, you move on to the next set immediately instead of spending entire time on one particular set. So that is the key, like how do you tackle the examination. So even if you have attempted 50 mocks but you do not know how to leave a question and pick the easy ones, then it is of no use. So anyway, whatever be the number of mocks, don't worry about it. Even if you have taken 10 mocks, if you have taken 30 mocks, right, don't worry about it. Just focus on the revision part. Just see that which topics you know well, which topics you do not know. So strategize accordingly. Let's say if you feel that okay, 2 RCs and verbal will work for me, go with that strategy. If you feel that 3 RCs work for me, go with that strategy. Eat healthy for the next few days. Do not fall sick. That is the most important thing. That avoid any junk food. Eat light. Do not overeat. Let's say if you are going to some function, do not end up eating too much. Okay. Avoid any such food item that can cause stomach upset. not only the day of the examination but before the examination also. So make sure that you stay healthy for the next few days. Take ample rest. Okay, I know it is not easy to be in that state, but ensure that you take at least 6 to 7 hours of sleep, and especially before the day of the examination, ensure that you take proper rest, you sleep on time. If you have first slot, that is the morning slot of 8:30, I would request you to sleep before midnight and wake up by 6 a.m. Okay, so at least 6 to 7 hours of sleep is a must before the examination, because if you wake up late, then you will be in haphazard manner, you will be rushing through things, and may end up panicking during the examination. So take ample rest before the examination, wake up early on the examination day. If you have the first slot, then it is very important to make the travel arrangements in case your center is far off. Let us say you got a center in another city, even if it is, let us say, 2 hours away, I would not advise to wake up early, let's say at 4 or 5 a.m. and rushing to another city. So ensure that maybe it might cost you something, but ensure that you go to that city, if just in case if you got in another city, and if you feel that it is 2 hours 3 hours away, ensure that you go one day in advance, because traveling just before the examination can make you tired, and if you are tired in the examination, you will not be able to do well. So from my own experience, like I've seen scenarios wherever I had to rush through things, I ended up not doing so well on the examination. So if you feel that your center is far off, let's say it is within the vicinity, then it's fine. But if it is, let's say it requires 2 hours of travel, so ensure that you reach a day in advance. Even if it is in same city, you can make some arrangement. Let us say you are in let's say you stay in Noida and your center has come in Gurgaon, just taking an example. So if you have any friends over there, so you can go to their place and stay a night before, so that your center is not so far from your place on the day of the examination, and you reach there comfortably on time. So if you have a different city, if you are unknown to the city, please reach a day in advance, so that you get to see the centers. Because sometimes what happens is, maybe there are some issues in Google Maps, the center is updated, and be very particular about the center's name. Sometimes some institutes have similar names, and you might have seen that Quota Factory also, he ends up reaching the wrong center on the day of the examination. So that creates unnecessary panic on the day of the examination. Then very important thing is admit card printout and photograph. Get the printout a day in advance itself. It applies to other slots as well, but other slots I can say that okay, exam starts in the afternoon, so you can get some shop in the morning and take the printout. But if you have exam at 8:30 a.m., definitely you will be reaching there by 7:30 or max by 8. You may not find any stationery shop open that time, so I would request that take the printout of the admit card a day in advance. Paste the photograph. The photograph should be the same that is you uploaded on the application form, preferably the same, although other photographs also work. I mean, if as long as you look the same in those two photographs. Okay, now that is preparation for the examination day. Let's talk about what needs to be done on the day of the examination. First of all, get up on time. I would request that around 6 a.m. you should be up. It depends on how far your center is. Let us say your center is 1 hour away, so maybe 5:30 or 5 a.m. you might have to wake up, so that you get freshened up, okay, and reach the center on time. If it is nearby, let's say just 15-20 minutes away, or half an hour or 45 minutes, maybe by 6 o'clock you may wake up. Have some light energetic breakfast. Light, I mean that don't have something very heavy, like don't consume paratha or something which you will start feeling drowsy after that. It could be some juice or some milk or some light breakfast, but it should be enough to give you some energy, because you will be drained while attempting a 2-hour test. So if you go empty stomach, you might feel drained, okay, your brain might not be at its level best. So I would advise you to have something light, and that should be giving you some energy to attempt the test. Then if you are in North India, so it is going to be cold, right? The winters have begun. So I would request you to wear winter attire, maybe in sweatshirts, hoodies, at least full sleeves, okay, And there are certain guidelines related to the attire that they do not allow belts, so preferably wear some trousers that are fit, okay, and jackets, they do not allow chains, so if you have some sweaters or some hoodies which do not have chains, so preferably wear those things. So read those guidelines in the admit card, they mentioned that. And if there is any jewelry, please remove that jewelry, okay, because you will be asked to remove those jewelry during the test. If it is non-detachable that you cannot help, they will put some tape and get some affidavit signed by you. But if it is removable, like rings or chains, any such thing, please do remove those, okay. And if you are in NCR, then it's a humble request that please wear N95 mask, because the pollution levels are soaring high. So I would request that no one should fall sick on the day of the examination, because you may not be stepping out for a long duration these days, but on the day of the examination you will be out in such polluted environment. So please wear a mask, and please reach the test center on time by 7:30 am, latest by 8 am. Do not reach beyond that, because it is going to create panic. There are certain processes that need to be followed. The frisking will be done, they will scan your admit card, then allot you the seats and all, so it takes a certain amount of time. So preferably reach between 7:30 to 8, not very early as well, because what happens is, if you reach the center very early, you will start building up anxiety by seeing other people around, okay. So the next important thing is, ignore other aspirants on your way to the examination. When you reach the examination center, you will feel that, okay, some students are studying, some people are discussing, there are some friends who got the same center, they are discussing certain things, some people are reading something, right, some book, or some people memorizing formulae. On the way to travel, maybe let's say you are taking a metro, okay, and from metro I got that, like especially in metro cities, especially it happens in NCR, certain metros do not run early on Sunday, okay. So there are certain lines, so please check those, do not rely on those modes of transport, okay. So it might happen that, let's say you have to go via some green line or maybe magenta line, which are rare, so you may not find trains early on Sunday, so ensure that you know about those arrangements also. Now when you go to the center, you will find a lot of people, you will meet several people on your way. So let's say if you are using public transport, you will definitely meet someone who are studying on the way. So do not panic looking at those people. Remember that if you are a serious aspirant, right, most of the people are underprepared. So to be honest, like out of the test takers, at least 80% of the people are underprepared, 80-85%. The game is only about that 15 to 20%, not more than that, okay. And among that also, there are some serious, some are like semi-serious, or some succumb to panic, okay. So it is not a big deal to cross that 90 percentile barrier, okay, to be honest, because most of the aspirants are just like mere aspirants. Many of them do not even know the syllabus completely, many of them do not study seriously, okay. So it is only the game between some handful of candidates, maybe 20% at max. So remember that if you see crowd, do not panic, right, feel confident. And if you have studied through right resources, if you have been honest with your preparation, you are way better than those candidates. So do not get frightened by the volume of candidates over there. Most of them are underprepared, and they prepare at the last moment, seeing the formula and seeing random things. So don't be among those people. Now when you reach the center, you will be having some frisking thing. So they will check your, like if you have any jewelry items, or maybe you have some metallic thing, right. If you have belt, they will ask you to remove it. Wallet, you will have to keep aside, phones, etc. Everything will be done, and then you will be allotted a system. Make sure that you check the system before the test, like see that if the mouse is working fine, right, it is smooth, because what happens is there are certain minor things also which impact the test. Let us say your mouse takes long to click, okay. If it takes extra time, so that even if it appears though it is just a few milliseconds delayed, but if it is not smooth, you will struggle during the paper. So when you click next, if it does not happen instantly, get the mouse changed, okay. Please try to see that if everything is working in your system fine, and if during the examination the system faces any issue, right, do not panic during the examination. The timer is stopped at that moment where the system crashes, it will resume from the same time. So if at all it happens, sometimes it does happen with aspirants, so do not panic in that case. And the most important thing is, since you will be appearing on slot 1, be prepared for any surprise elements. There can be any surprise element, and CAT is known for surprise elements. Previously it was the case that every year they used to bring up some surprise. Now they have become a bit predictable, but I still believe that there will be some surprise elements this time. See, for the past 2-3 years they have maintained some consistency. So it could be possible that you might see some new type of verbal questions. Okay, so it is quite possible that you might see that, okay, some new type of verbal question has come up. Let's say 3 years back that sentence insertion question came. Okay, so that was a new type. So you may face that thing. Second thing could be, let's say in DILR the number of questions per set may change. So instead of 5 5 5 5 it may become 4 6 4 6 also. It may also be possible that you might get 5 DILR sets. Okay, 4 questions per set and 5 sets. So be prepared for any such surprise element and tackle them accordingly. So if they have given 5 DILR sets, maybe the level of sets is easy. So try to maximize your attempt. Okay, so don't give you that mindset that one set is going to give me 85 percentile, so I'm going to attempt only one set. Maybe if you just attempt one set, in that case it may not be enough to get that desired percentile. So there could be any surprise elements. It will be minor surprise element, not a major one. Maybe the number of questions in quant might change. Instead of 22 you might have 25 questions. It could be anything. Okay, so be prepared for any such things, and if you see them, it is a surprise element for all. So especially slot 1 students will face this thing first, because if they have decided a number of questions to be changed, it will remain consistent through the other slots. So let us say slot 1 gets 5 DILR sets, so it will be the same in the case of slot 2 aspirants. But slot 2 aspirants will know कि इस बार 5 DILR set आ रहे हैं, so they will be mentally prepared for that. So if you are in first slot, be prepared for all such surprise elements and try to tackle them with calm mind. Try to attempt your best possible in the examination. Then next thing is, don't go with past year's data. Lot of students check कि 2023 में कितने स्कोर पे कितना परसेंटाइल आया था, and they try to attempt accordingly. Try to maximize your score. So last year the paper was difficult, maybe this year the paper is easy. Okay, if the paper is easy, the cutoffs will go up. So don't go with that mindset that I have to attempt X number of questions in this section to get Y percentile. Okay, so don't say that, okay, in quant I have to attempt 5 questions to get 95 percentile or any such number. Okay, so it may happen that instead of 5 you might have to, even if you attempt 7 questions correct, you might not be able to get 90 percentile. Okay, so that may change depending on the level of the difficulty of this year's paper. So try to give your best, try to pick as many questions as you can and solve them in the examination. Don't worry about that score versus percentile thing, because that is the biggest thing that affects the students. They go with the last year's data, they see कि अच्छा last year 2023 में इतना आया था, so it will be the case this year also. Now you will be given A5 rough sheets during the examination, so the first timers will not be knowing about it. So if you are going for the very first time, if you are a fresher, you will see that there are A5 size rough sheet. What is A5 is half of A4. So A4 sheet को half में fold करते हैं, so that is A5 rough sheet. So in DILR it creates some problem because आपको छोटा छोटा लिख के solve करना पड़ता है, but for quant it is fine and it has ample number of pages. Okay, so it does not get filled, so don't worry about that. You will have ample rough sheet available with you. And if at all like you find some question wrong, although it is very rare, in CAT the questions are rarely wrong, but if at all you find something wrong, so just avoid that. Do not overspend time on that, right? Do not overthink on those questions. It is a rare scenario. Sometimes the language is ambiguous, right? Especially in DILR, if they say that between 1 and 9, technically it means that it should not include 1 and 9, but in those questions it is between 1 and 9 means 9 is also included, 1 is also included. So sometimes the language is slightly ambiguous in those questions. Use your best judgment in such cases. Okay, sometimes if you feel that, okay, if I do not take 9 the question cannot be solved, so try to take 9 also and solve those questions. So it is rare, but sometimes it happens. There are some assumptions that you might have to make in certain kind of questions. So use your best judgment in those cases. And still it is easy to say but difficult that don't be anxious on the day of the examination. There are a lot of aspirants, despite doing very good, they are sincere, they are hardworking, they have put in good efforts, but still panic during the examination. So if you are one such student, I can tell you some technique to deal with exam anxiety. Please comment on the link of this video. I will send you a video which you can watch, some practice, some muscle relaxation technique that you can practice before the examination and during the examination also, to calm your nerves so that you are able to perform well. So comment if you want that link to that video. I will share you that video. And on the day of the examination, I will be appearing on the first slot. Some of the students were anxious to know that which slot I've got the first slot. So I will be appearing in the 8:30 to 10:30 slot. So I will be doing the analysis at 10:30 am. So in case you are for slot 2 or slot 3 aspirant, please do watch the exam analysis, because you will get an idea from an authentic source, right? Do not listen to random people. I will be taking the exam myself and then giving the analysis, so that you have a first hand experience that what has happened in the examination, any new changes in the examination, or any such thing in the examination. So I wish you all the best to all those who are appearing on CAT 2024, and just stay relaxed and give your best in the examination. Now, if you are a CAT 25 aspirant, right, let's say if you're starting preparing for CAT 2025 and other MBA entrance examinations, MBA Karo is glad to launch the batch for CAT 2025 and OMETs also. So it is going to be a great batch for all MBA aspirants, because it will cover not only CAT but all other OMET syllabus also. Like we will be covering in verbal ability, we will be covering grammar, vocabulary, everything which is tested in other exams also. Similarly, in logical reasoning, we will be covering the topics like blood relations, coding, decoding, and syllogisms, etc., which are asked in different MBA entrance examinations. So it is going to be a comprehensive batch. It is going to be a self-paced batch, so it will have recorded videos. You can watch them at your own pace. So it will be from scratch to advanced level. So it will cover all the topics right from the basics, and you can cover that at your own pace. With all topics, you will be given practice sheets. There will be doubt resolution group, and plus we will host some live doubt sessions also periodically. And the best price is the best thing about this course is the price. It is at just rupees 15,000 for the entire year, and it will be valid till 31st of March 2026, so that it will not only help you for CAT 2025 but also for all other MBA entrance examination, and it will cover the syllabus holistically for all the examinations. And we are glad to announce it at a pre-launch price of just 12,000. The price is 15,000, but for the first 100 students, the price is just 12,000. The link of enrollment is given in the description of this video, so please do check it out. And if you want to prepare early for the examination, this is the best time to enroll in it and get mentored for CAT 2025 and all other MBA entrance examinations. So these were the guidelines about CAT 2024, how to attempt the paper. So just a summary that do not worry about any external things now. Whatever you have prepared, that is sufficient. Nothing new will happen in the next 2-3 days. So just relax for the next 2-3 days and do not panic during the examination, so that you end up doing your best in the examination. And don't forget to watch our exam analysis at 10:30 am on the day of the exam.